wanted to start off with, are y'all from Norman?
I was born and raised.
Okay.
Norman kid.
I've lived here since I was in 5th grade.
Okay.
So pretty much.
I'm a Normanite, and Eli's a Normanite.
Yeah, Cody's from Wayne, Payne.
Yeah.
Cody, our bass player's from Wayne.
Wayne, yeah.
But he's been here since college.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're all basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has made you stay in Norman?
For me, just family,
Yeah.
honestly. I can't really move away from that.
Yeah.
You know, I used to live in Austin, Texas for about 6 years when I was in my early 20s, and spent some time in Seattle and Los Angeles, but ended up coming back to Oklahoma for a band thing, and it just happened to be that I was originally from here, so I just stayed.
Yeah.
I teach guitar here, so I'm able to make a living just doing music full time. And my parents are here. And my cool band.
Family and band, yeah, I mean, yeah, you know. The HKS has been a band for 10 years, so.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What is it about Norman, like as a culture, as a town, that you enjoy most?
One of the things that's like cool about it and kind of a bummer about it is I feel like because it's a college town, it's kind of super scene-y. And what I mean by that is like scenes develop and kind of like explode and then ebb. So it does kind of change all the time.
Yeah.
The double edge of that is there could be pretty big lulls in between them. As long as there's a cool thing and people are like into what they're doing, even if it's not music that's like necessarily my style or whatever, it's always cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the arts community's gotten like way better since it's like 10 years ago. It's like we have like art walks. And there's tons of new bands playing.
Being Norman kids, like he grew up like where he teaches now, he took guitar from there and like I did. So like you as kids you got to see it and be like, oh my God. And then now that we're like older, we're kind of the people that are doing it and you kind of take that mantle or whatever. And it kind of keeps you going. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. When did you start making music? Just individually, like what got you into music, and then how did that?
For me, I had like 2 other friends that played guitar, so it was kind of like I don't know, like a competition or something between us 3, and we were just, you know, see who could be the best, I guess. But
who are your biggest influences as a band and as individuals?
This stuff I've always listened to that like influences how I think about like music with them is like other rock keyboards like Pink Floyd, like in the way back, and then like bands like Black Mountain and other kind of keyboard adjacent rock and roll bands really affect kind of how I think about shaping the sound in that band.
I came up as, you know, like every drummer does, like, you know, like Nirvana, Jimi Hendrix, you know. And
Mitch Mitchell.
But I also, I just always had ears for hip hop. My rock drumming is definitely like influenced probably more by hip hop than other drummers.
Yeah,
I grew up listening to like Motown and stuff like that with my mom's vinyl collection. But in high school, you know, it was like, you know, obviously I did listen to rock and roll, a lot of rock and roll, but hip hop was also like really strong influence.
Yeah, okay.
The first tape I ever bought was Crazy Sexy Cool by TLC. So
the first piece of music I ever got into was Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Oh yeah,
California Raisins.
also good.
Yeah,
The classics,
Kid Rock,
stuff that's, you know, makes you move.
Yeah.
something you can dance to.
Do you think that people who listen to your music listen to some of those influences, or do you think that it's...
One of the things why I said Pink Floyd, one of the like best compliments I had not too long ago was an older couple was up there and they came up and they were like, "You guys, like, Pink Floyd sound." I was like,
There you go.
"God bless you." But like, I was like, "That's kind of what I was going for."
Yeah, when people ask us what we sound like, I'm always like Pink Floyd or Black Sabbath.
And, well, and I hear a lot of people.
Just kind of that's like an easy. You know, everybody knows those bands, so it's like.
And a weird one that I get a lot that like I don't get, but if, like you hear it a bunch. Like I hear a lot of people saying that our sound sounds very like '90s and like the stuff that like '90s kids grew up to. And that, I mean, enough people that like that has to do. That's never something I see in it, but like. You know, if more than 3 people come up and tell you, you're like, okay, well, and I mean, it makes sense. That's what we grew up. So like, yeah, it's like hard to even know exactly how those sounds come out.
What is your favorite part about being a musical artist?
It's weird. Like I enjoy it, but I also don't enjoy it.
It's a love-hate.
It really. I mean, like at this point, I'm middle aged. When we play shows, I feel it the next day. Being in a band, there's a lot of hassle to it.
Yeah.
Just gear moving alone. And when you're younger, that stuff doesn't matter.
Right.
When you get older, it starts to matter, and it starts being as fun. But it's not something I like consciously have a choice in doing anymore. Like during the pandemic and other times in my life where I had to take a hiatus for whatever reason, I would know immediately what was missing, and I find that I'm just a healthier person when I go through the hassle of being in a band.
This is gonna be like all about like, well, we're getting old. But
Right.
like, people like as you get older, like, you hear so many people be like, well, you know, I just listen to the stuff I listened to in high school, and that's kind of like.
Alright.
But being like continuing to be engaged in it, like to get more inspiration and stuff, like I'm constantly listening to music and it keeps me engaged with that
Sure.
exploration of it and
Yeah.
kind of keeps me up. And I mean, I feel like that's really good for my soul too.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps me young in that respect. Like I can still listen to new music and I'm like, "That sounds like garbage." I mean, I do that. I still do that as I get older, but I see where it's coming from and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Even more so.
Well, I know music. This is crap.
Tim teaches guitar all day and then comes to rehearsals and stuff. So
Yeah. I just, I love the lifestyle of it. I love meeting new people, making friends with people that are in other states or other bands, meeting other bands, and just being in old smelly bars. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a fun
It keeps you young in some ways.
way to
That's
live
for sure.
life. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But at this point, it would just be lamer if I quit.
Yeah.
Because I have put in
Yeah.
all this
Yeah.
time and whatever.
I don't know what I would
So
do
like,
without
yeah,
it.
if I stopped, like that would just be a really boring narrative for anybody that was listening, you know?
Yeah.
We all tend towards the crotchety anyway, so we
Yeah,
need
sure.
every bit of help that we can
We're
get.
curmudgeons.
Yeah, I mean, but at least that's one thing.
What do you hope that people get from your music?
From our music, good time.
Right.
I think if I had any kind of other expectation, that would be pretty presumptuous, you know, in an age where anybody's phone is, you know, a lot more interesting than a lot of things going on around them often. To just have people enjoy it is really all I'm trying to get out of it or hope for, you know.
Yeah, I think having people feel something is good, and then being able to like escape. Yeah. I mean, that's what I enjoy about music.
A lot of the stuff that's dominated for a long time around here is like red dirt and country stuff, and I like all of that. I've played in country bands, and I feel like what we go for is a pretty big sound and a pretty loud sound. And as we got older, I feel like at least I feel like, and I feel like you guys maybe too, feel a little bit of a responsibility to like continue to rep big loud music in Oklahoma.
I don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't
Get those
imagine
brushes
that.
out of here.
I can't imagine
Full
doing
whacking.
anything else with the drums, like like playing in a different way or whatever. Like
We've tried to be quiet. It's impossible.
we're loud.
Loud and proud.
As a band, what has been one of your most formative moments, whether that's like an aha moment or just like a turning point or a solidifying moment?
For me personally, it was kind of on the tail end of a lot of the COVID restrictions. We were asked to open for this band called The Sword. Their career was kind of winding down and ours is still chugging. And it was just kind of one of those things like where we did the show and it was like, yeah, we can do this. Like we're still in it. And if these titans have asked us to open, you know, we're doing the right things.
Yeah.
We just,
That was a really cool show.
But what are some of y'all's favorite restaurants, coffee shops, hangout spots around Norman?
I really like the Winston.
Winston?
I will go there for their draft old fashions. Me and my wife will generally have 2 or 3, and then we'll have a good cry session, and we'll go home.
I still got to rep Pepe's. It's keeping
Yeah,
it,
Pepe's for
it's
sure.
keeping it
Yeah.
Norman.
Scratch basement bar is pretty cool.
Scratch
Yeah,
Basement
for
Bar is
sure,
cool.
for sure.
And hang out. I mean,
Yeah.
we're old Norman people, so we tend to hang out where old Norman people still
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
For Norman Music Festival, talk about your involvement with that. What it means to you guys and what it does for you as a band.
I think a lot of people know us because of Norman Music Festival, honestly. Usually when I meet somebody new and we get to talking, we talk about the band stuff, a lot of times they're like, "Oh, I saw you at Norman Music Festival," and at this rate, like, we've been a band for so long that we've done just about every stage you can do. Yeah. The Norman Music Festival people, the people that actually handle that stuff,
sure,
they have absolutely supported our band over the years. During the pandemic, we were one of the bands they asked to do the transmission.
It's like live stream.
And then they had a sort of like a warming up thing over there off of Gray. What was
over by the depot?
Yeah, by the depot.
Jenkins.
Yeah, whatever street.
That's not Jenkins. That's Jones.
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Jones.
They just repeatedly would do things for ask us to do things, whatever. And I felt oftentimes it was I don't know, I felt undeserving.
Well, yeah,
because they were just so generous with having us do things and trying to support us.
Yeah, we'll do anything for NMF people anytime they want.
Sure.
Gotta get our hips in line and rock it out.
For the elder statesmen.
Yeah, for yeah.
I don't know that we would have made it through COVID, without their support, honestly, because it kept us.
It did like juices. Yeah.
So go Norman Music Festival.
Yeah.
We'll keep talking as long as you let us.
For people who maybe don't know the Norman music scene, if somebody doesn't know any artist that's going to be there, what would you tell them to encourage them to just go?
For Norman Music Festival? Yeah.
Cool local bands, around this area.
Yeah, my piece of advice would be the stages are outside are cool. You should pick some bands, but really do try and make a point to go by Blue Bonnet and some of the smaller stuff to see other people, because that's where a lot of local people will be, and don't shy away from that.
There's an absurd amount of talent in this town. It's almost like a weird kept secret, I think, nationally. And at some point, people are going to figure out that whatever's happening here musically is really worth being interested in and supporting and whatnot. And essentially, they'll be on the ground floor of what will happen to this town once people figure out, one, that there's an amazing amount of talent here, and that two, investing in that talent you will get a huge return on that investment. Maybe the city leaders will be listening to me speak on that. There can be other things besides OU football. God bless them. But our economy doesn't have to hang its hat on football, because there's a ton of talent here that isn't necessarily football related.
Yeah, a lot of energy that just kind of needs a conduit. And Norman Music Festival, I feel it's the best one for that. And it's huge. See how much energy you get out for that. If you just invested in more stuff like that.
If it wasn't for the festival, Norman for sure would suffer without it. That's
Norman makes a lot of money off the festival too.
Not only that, they make people's lives more interesting with the festival.
Well, yeah, and
one
get
of
that
our
energy.
members works owns Oculus, or one of the bar owner. And that's a big, helps them get through their year.
Well, and we've talked to other bands or whatever that are doing all kinds of other stuff and cool stuff. It's always should this Norman Music? You get your stuff in,
choose your spot.
It's kind of like our Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you put your...
Yeah, where you put I did that last year. This is where, Anyway, it's super cool.
I'm just really grateful that I'm still in this band specifically. I'm grateful to be from Norman and representing Norman if that's what we're doing. I hope Norman's happy with the way we represent them, and I have a lot of gratitude.
Thank you so much.
Proud of this town.
I'm proud of this whole cow.
Old Norman.